versus strength. Speed versus agility. As number 3 and number 4 in the world meet for the ATP Championship, Edberg versus Becker, next on USA Sports.
USA Sports, in association with Volvo Tennis.
But Becker has the overall lead 7-3. And earlier this year on USA Sports, we saw Edberg and Becker in the finals of the Pilot Pen Classic in Indian Wells.
This was a great match for Boris Becker. It was all Becker in this final. He won in straight sets with match just like that great passing shot. He was pumped on that particular day. Edberg tried to get back in this match, but there was just no way. It was all Boris Becker.
Becker jumped on him early in a 5-set final to win 6-4, 6-4, and 7-5. Mary in Naples, Florida in just a moment as you take a look at Boris Becker and Stefan Edberg. We should also mention this surface on which this tournament is being contested is the exact same surface on which the U.S. Open will be played.
Well, it is. It's Deco turf as we watch both players come out and start warming up. Boris Becker on the near side, Stefan Edberg on the far side. It is a complete sellout, Ted. Beautiful day here. A little bit windy again down at center court. We had gusty winds yesterday. And these two...
Becker, still a teenager. He'll celebrate his 20th birthday in November, now residing in Monte Carlo. And his current computer ranking is number 4.
And I think the thing to watch with Becker is his great power and his great agility. He's 6'3", he's extremely strong, and yet he moves around the court very well. And as I mentioned earlier, if he can return serve on the big points, he's going to be very tough.
The senior citizen in this match, Stefan Edberg, 21 years old, a Swede who now makes his home in London. And he is currently ranked number 3 on the computer.
Well, Tony Pickard put it very well. He is not a flamboyant type of player. He's very contained, very Swedish, if you will. He doesn't get too excited, and yet he has great talent. And I think as a stylist, he's a great player to watch. You can learn a lot from watching Stefan Edberg. He's classic.
I think, Barry, you mentioned something in our Open that was very apropos. When these two met at Indian Wells, Becker got the early lead, and Edberg never could seem to get in it. Yesterday, we saw Edberg jump all over Jimmy Connors, broke him in the first game, and that seemed to give Edberg confidence.
Edberg is a streaky type of player, Ted. I think he's the kind of guy, however, who can get down, and he'll lose a couple points. His shoulders will drop. You can really see him have trouble. So if he can avoid that today, I think we're going to have a very close match.
You saw the computer rankings, number 3 and number 4. Mats Wilander right now is the number 2 ranked player on the computer, but both of these players have reached number 2 on the computer. Becker late last year, and Edberg was number 2 early this year.
Well, I think that win of Edberg's over Becker last week, very recently in Montreal, on the same surface is going to be very important today. Becker last night said, I didn't really like losing in straight sets to Stefan, and so that is preying on Becker's mind. He did not like that straight set loss.
You're seeing Becker and Edberg preparing for the finals of the Thriftway ATP Championship at Kings Island, Ohio, and we'll come back with the championship match after this word from your local cable systems. 4 years, Mats was beaten in the 3rd round by Peter Lundgren. John McEnroe also made a hasty exit, Barry.
Well, he did indeed, because McEnroe was upset in the 1st round here this week by Paul Annacone.
Hard court records this season amongst the top international players. You see Edberg at 2nd, Becker 4th, and a name we haven't heard as much about lately, Barry, the name you never hear, Machir, right in there.
Miloslav Machir last year beat Becker in the semifinals of the U.S. Open, and up until then, a lot of people didn't even know how to pronounce his name. In fact, it's pronounced a lot of different ways, but we say Miloslav Machir. He is a wonderful player, moves around very gracefully, and we're going to look forward to seeing him at the U.S. Open.
Edberg excelling on the hard courts, has played very well since Wimbledon.
Ted, another interesting point. These two players have played 10 times. You would have thought that they would have played at least once on grass or once on clay, but not so. They have only played on this surface, on hard courts, and indoors on carpet. Again, Becker leading the series 7 matches to 3. And so even though both players grew up on clay, Edberg playing on clay courts in Sweden, of course, and Becker growing up on those red clay courts over in West Germany, it's surprising that they have not played more on those two surfaces.
The umpire, Richard Kaufman from Seattle.
Before the match, Ted, and I said, looking for any problems today? He says, not with these two guys. They're pretty good.
And Richard had a tough one in a quarterfinal match here Friday with Nadu.
Watch the serve of Boris Becker now, nearly perfect. He throws the ball out in front of him. Watch his weight move into it. Comes with both feet off the ground. Beautiful motion.
Passing shot out by Edberg, and Becker holds serve in the first game of the ATP Championship.
And it's definitely going to bother him down there. It's gusting, and he throws the ball higher than Becker.
Late call wide. Big first serve by Edberg.
Now we get a good chance to watch a great serve and volley. Watch that arch back, high toss. Again, the weight coming in. Look how quickly he gets in front of the service line. That's the key to that volley. He's about 3 feet behind. Best point of the match right here. Watch the agility of Stefan Edberg as he's up at net, moves laterally, good volley, but Becker will get to the shot. Now watch Edberg with a great angle there. Watch the ability at net of Stefan Edberg. High racket, lunging, now gets back to the center, hits the angle. That is a great volley.
Saves a break point and holds serve at 1-all first set.
Talked about quick hands. You're going to see it right here. Edberg in quickly. Good half volley. Now watch him with the quick hands here. Moves to his right, all over the net. That was not an easy shot. We said that ball in the toss because he's looking right into the sun.
Great backhand.
Talk about quality tennis. Here is a great cross-court backhand passing shot. Racket back early, moves his weight into it, hits the ball right in front, right there, and comes over it. Perfect backhand cross.